everyone, and welcome to A Balanced Life with Dr. Jacquie here on Black Star Network. You know, each and every week when we gather together, I get so excited and thrilled about the topic of conversation that we're going to have. And today, let me tell you, we're talking all things summer. Now, I know that some of you are ready to get out and about, and you may be planning those summer vacations, getting ready for your family reunions, even considering thinking about going to your class reunion. But let me say, I know that getting into that summertime mindset, trying to figure out how do we re-engage with people? What types of conversations do we have? Are we ready to see family and friends who we kind of, if you want to say, kick to the curb from the last family reunion, and we're like, I'm just not here for it. I don't want to do any of it. Our guests today are going to share with us some tips and highlights on how to prepare for summer, what our bodies can look like, what to eat and how to prepare it. And even just saying, I'm in this calm, cool, and collected space to just be ready for everything related to fun in the sun. Let's bring in our guests now. We have today with us Charlotte Avery, Dr. Tierney, Chef Rock Harper, So our guests today have no shortage of tips and tricks on how to be prepared for summer. We have with us today Charlotte Avery, Dr. Tierney, Aisha Pugh, Chef Rock Harper, and also joining us today is Mocha Lee. So we are getting ready for all things summer. Let's bring in our guests. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Jacquie. Let me tell you, let me just say, I am thrilled about summer and all that it brings. Fun in the sun, thinking about seeing new places. Maybe not so much seeing other people, but that's where I'm at in this pandemic when it comes to getting ready for summer. How are you guys, shaping up for summer? Are you thinking about summer plans? And tell us what you've been up to. Chef Rock.
Well, it's good to be here on A Balanced Life because that's exactly what I'm going to need this summer. My summer is shaping up to be really busy. And, I think I might be able to sneak in a vacation or two, but a lot of work and, the family is still there. So for me, it's just all about being aware about what's to come and not having too many surprises and preparing for that. So it's going to be a great one. I hope to do some traveling, but most of all, I got to take care of my guests at the restaurant. So that's where I'll be spending most of my time.
So quick question for you before you go. Your travel, what's your party number when you travel? How many people are you traveling with?
Well, there's 5 of us in the family. If I could do solo trips, I would. I love everybody, but I like being reservation for one. I'm team one all day.
All right, Charlotte Avery, what you got cooking for this summer, lady?
Oh my goodness. So this is going to be a really epic summer because my son, our oldest, is going to be graduating from high school and getting ready to go to college or wherever he's going to end up. And so we're just planning for that. But, it's going to be really special because I'm just really trying to get all of our fun in with him and with our entire family. And so I'm just excited about summer. I love summer. Like, I'm not one of those moms that wish summer never came and that my kids were still in school. Like, I'm all about team summer because I know that when school is out, the kids are safe and sound because they're with me and we get to have a lot of fun. So I have a lot of interesting tools and tricks up my sleeve for this summer, but I'm ready. Like, I am ready for the sunshine and I'm ready to go.
So what's your travel number? How many people are you traveling with this summer?
I'm traveling with 9 people.
Okay, party of 9 for Avery. All right,
Yes,
Aisha.
Party of 9.
Party of 9. Hey, Aisha. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am doing well. Now, let me just ask you, when you're getting ready for summer, What do you got planned? I see you're all summer colored up today. So how's your summer coming? What are you thinking about?
Yes, it is coming along quite well. I wore my palm trees for you all today just because I know the summertime is coming. But yes, I actually have a few things planned. You know, the last couple of years, it's been hard, obviously, trying to get out and do something. But I do have a couple of trips planned. I have a wedding trip planned that's coming up. Going on a trip with my sorority sisters to get away in Jamaica. I'm going to Vegas this summer. A friend of mine is turning 40. So this is definitely going to be a lot of fun. We are going to throw in a family trip in there with the kids and just do that's going to probably be more of a unplanned, let's get in the car, go type of trip because we haven't planned that yet, but everything else is planned. And I'm excited. I'm going to piggyback off of Miss Avery and just say, you know, I love the summertime as well. And I like not having to have all the hustle and the bustle of getting up, going to school. So, hey, we're going to get there. We're just going to have some fun this summer.
Well, I am looking forward to hearing more about how you get ready for all of what you just said. And I know that we'll be talking about that as we move along. So Mocha Lee, how are you traveling this summer? What's going on with you?
I'm a summer girl too. I love summertime. It's a party of four. And let me tell you why July is crazy in our house, because my youngest turns 10 in July. Then I already have a 14-year-old. Then here comes the wedding anniversary in July. My hubby's birthday is in July. So summertime is just like full of celebrations. But I would say I love camps. I love putting my kids in the camp. At least, you know, sometimes they can be pricey. But say, for example, both of my girls are musicians. So I'm like, wow, there's a camp over at the University of Maryland. Go on and have some fun in the camp. And then that way, I still have some downtime to focus on me and my clients. And speaking of my clients, guess what we do a lot of in the summertime? Splish, splash, splish, splash. Pool workouts are so much fun in the summertime. And you know, Jackie, I remember being in your pool, even though it was a party scene years ago, I was trying to figure out how to sneak in some aqua aerobics moves in your pool. So yes, summer is fun. And I just like to mix in fun with travel, with celebrating. And I just have to remind everybody, please keep drinking your water. Please, please stay hydrated throughout the entire summer. Got to do it.
Wow, you sound like you're going to be just as busy as Aisha Pugh. Hey, Dr. Tierney. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Dr. Jackie. How about you?
Good. So how are you traveling? What's your party number?
So sometimes it's a party of one because I'm an only child, so I have no problem going somewhere by myself. But mostly it's just me and my husband. So Dr. Tierney, party of two on deck.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So as you can tell our viewers, we have parties of 4, parties of 9, parties of 5, parties of 1, parties of 2. So whatever it is and how you're traveling, when we come back after the break, we're going to talk about planning and what does it look like to plan for your specific party and what does it take to plan for your event. Let me just say, I know that when we are talking about planning, some of us use a Franklin Covey, some of us use our Google Calendar, some of us have all of these types of mechanisms that we use, these PDAs to keep us moving forward. And, you know, are you trekking every single thing that you're going to do each and every day on your vacation? So when we come back, we're going to talk about all things planning for your summer vacation when we're back after the break.
Don't you think it's time to get wealthy? I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and my new show on the Black Star Network focuses on the things your financial advisor or bank isn't telling you. So watch Get Wealthy on the Black Star Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to A Balanced Life. We are talking about how do you plan for the things that are special for you this summer. As you have heard, some people have their kids going away to college and they'll be partial empty nesters. Others are getting ready for girl trips and having fun with the family, and others may be doing professional development opportunities in time. But whatever it is you're doing, planning should be a part of how you move forward if it's possible. So let's bring in our guests, and we're going to talk about how do you plan for some of the things that are going on in your summer vacation or summer break. Welcome back, everyone. I am so tickled to listen to some of what you guys are talking about as far as where you're going. And I'm going to start with Aisha because you have like 10 trips planned. And I would like to know, how do you plan for each of those trips, and what does that layout look like for you?
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Jackie. So with the upcoming trips that I have, I usually do like to use my Google Calendar, and I do try to separate everything according to what it is I'm going to do. I also use my phone calendar a lot and my alarms. I don't know about you guys, but I have 20,000 alarms to remind me that today this deposit needs to be made, today this needs to be done. So what I do is I just go through with the trips that I have coming up. For instance, I have my girls trip with my sorority sisters next month. So we have all that laid out. So that's in a separate box by itself, separate emails, my Google Calendar, and I color code. And I'm pretty sure everybody does that, kind of color code in my Google Calendar to break down what it is that I need to do. And from there, I just go from there, honestly and truthfully. So I have the girls trip coming up, and then the wedding trip with the husband. That's just he and I, that we're going to that. That's just kind of as I go, like I kind of know and what to expect. And it's only for like 2 days for that trip. And then my Vegas trip, I hadn't quite gotten down to that yet. I just know that I'm going on that trip. But really for me, I just kind of go with the flow of things and use my Google Calendar. And I'm out in my alarms. I have to have my alarms that help me stay on track with the dates that I have that are due, that's coming up for whatever I need to pay.
Well, that sounds rather organized in a sense of knowing what's happening when it needs to occur. Now, the color coding, I've not quite got that system down yet. So I'm certain that people will be putting in the thread when they're watching the show saying, okay, so what color should this be? Should green go with dollars and cents? Should red go with I'm over budget? Should yellow go with my wardrobe? And so I can just imagine that color coding is very helpful when it comes to planning a vacation. Now, Charlotte, you're traveling with your children a lot of the time. And when you're traveling with your kids, how do you determine and decide what everyone is going to do so that it's an enjoyable opportunity for all?
I usually try to plan vacations where everybody has something to do. So wherever we're going, it'll always be age appropriate for everybody, so that my older kids don't feel like, oh, this is baby stuff, and my younger kids don't feel like they're excluded. So everywhere we go, I mean, there's always something for everybody to participate in. Even when it comes to like going down to amusement parks and things of that nature, like I choose things where there's something literally for everybody. If we're going and we're staying at a resort, we always stay at a resort where there's something for everybody. So even if the big kids want to, if my bigs want to leave and they want to just kind of be on their own away from the littles and the middles, they can. And, I can grab the littles and we can go and do something, or, my middles can like break off and do something too. But it's always, what's going to be appropriate for everybody. And also, sometimes my mom will travel with us. So sometimes we're a party of 10. But then when my mom comes with us, we always find something that she can do, but then also something for my husband and I, because when we take a family vacation, it's really more about our children. Like my husband and I, we have time scheduled where we just break away and get away from everything and everybody. But usually when we're taking a family trip, it's really about maximizing our moments and our time with our children and our family together. So I'm always looking for like, is there a golf course? Is there, are there a golf course and go-karts and swimming pools and all kinds of things? Can we hike? Can we zip line? Just all kinds of things that I'm always like looking into.
Literally, you segued right into the next question that I was going to ask you. I love how you said your littles, your middles, and your bigs, and knowing how to separate activities for your children by ages can actually lessen the stress of a family vacation, because everyone does feel like they're included and that they have a say or their voice matters. And so everyone is able to create their own experiences. And I recognize that for some of you families that this may not be something that you can do, whether it's, a financial constraint or you just don't have the time and you don't know how to squeeze it in. I have a final question for you, Charlotte. If your vacations are long or are they short, and how do you maximize that time with a party of 9 or 10?
So usually our vacations are about a week, unless we're just doing like a staycation and we're doing something close by. But usually we're gone for about 7 to 10 days. And so that helps me to be able to really like take those days and map out. And then also, you know, Pinterest is my friend. So like Aisha was saying, like I do Google Calendar, but also before I go into a new space, especially if it's someplace that we haven't been, then I'll go on Pinterest and I'll look at, you know, look up different areas to see, okay, what are people doing in this particular area where we're going? So then I can do further research to see, okay, what is going to be available for my bigs? What's going to be available for the littles and the middles? And what's going to be available, for all of us so that we can really have a really good time. So there's so many resources out there to use. And then also too, because of the size of our family, like I'm always using like Retail Me Not and things like that to get discounted things and all of that because our family is so large.
Thank you for sharing those tips. I'm sure that our families will be looking into each and every one of those. I want to talk to Dr. Tierney for just a moment, because when we talk about getting ready for summer, there's a special headspace that you kind of need to be into. She mentioned, if you remember from the other segment, that sometimes she's a party of one because she's an only child, but she's also married. And oftentimes people travel alone for a variety of reasons. Dr. Tierney, how do you get into that headspace of being able to travel solo?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's all about just focusing on what it is that you need, you know, and so there may be times where the only child in me just needs some quiet time and needs to be, you know, by myself. And so I guess it's easier for me to get into that headspace of solo travel because I'm like party of one, you know, moving through life for most of my life. But now I wouldn't. Getting into that headspace of traveling internationally solo, now that's something that's a little different. I have friends that have, you know, they have done it and they've told me, you know, some of the tricks and registering with the embassy and, you know, things like that to make sure that they are safe, they're physically safe. Now that's something that I definitely would not do solo as a party of one. That's something that I would do with my husband. And that's actually where we find ourselves this year. I'm somewhere between Chef Rock and Charlotte Avery, where having a business, you know, managing with my clients and, you know, all of that, there's a lot that's on the docket for me professionally, you know, this summer. But at the same time, I am just clawing at the walls, like, get me out of here. I am ready to bust out of the house, you know, and now that things are kind of opening up and international travel is starting to open back up, my husband and I are actually looking at traveling internationally. So it's really about, you know, looking at what it is that you need for this season. You know, I need that alone time. So I have already kind of taken, you know, a little time away by myself, but at the same time planning to have that Dr. Tierney party of two travel, you know, trip internationally this summer as well.
Thank you for sharing that, because planning vacations isn't always easy. You want something that both people can enjoy, especially if you're going as a married couple or if you're dating or have a significant other, however you guys choose to frame that time for yourself. It's important to be able to maximize the time that you have together. Now, before we go into a break, I want to talk to Chef Rock Harper and Mocha Lee together, because let me just say, when it comes to planning, there are two things that I don't do well. One, decide how I'm going to eat for however long I'm gone, and bringing in exercise into my vacation. Chef Rock Harper and Mocha Lee, let's have a conversation about how to stay fit or not gain weight on a vacation. And sometimes it's hard because you feel like that's the time that you want to treat yourself. So I'm gonna start with Chef Rock Harper. Chef, when we're selecting hotels or we're looking at places to eat in the areas that we're going, or if we need to get a place where we can prepare our food, what are some recommendations that you have in regards to hotel versus, say, like a Residence Inn that has a kitchen, or doing an Airbnb? How does that work when it comes to food prep and meals and eating?
Well, it's a great question. And I think, you know, my family, we try to balance it, right? So as you said, you do want to splurge. It is vacation. I do want to eat what I want, you know, every day, really. But is that the best choice? Probably not. The way we do it is if you're eating what you want to eat every day when you're at home, then this is not much different. There needs to be some sort of difference. So what I love to do, whether it be hotels, I love the residence inn with the kitchens because, quite frankly, you can save money. And I'd rather spend that money on an experience rather than the $62 chicken fingers that the hotel is charging. So whether we have a kitchenette, sometimes we've brought a refrigerator and there's a microwave there, or there's a microwave and refrigerator there, or you have a full-on kitchen. What we try to do is to plan out, even saving that one. Hey, listen, we're not gonna go to the restaurant or go out for breakfast, right? If we're going to Disney or something, we're gonna eat oatmeal all week. I can eat cereal, but it's cheap, and we're gonna maybe get some fresh fruit, and we're gonna do the juice and the water. So that way we're saving money and we're saving time, and we don't have to think about that. But we're gonna splurge on dinner, maybe once, twice, 3 times this throughout the week. And lunch we'll do at the park or something like that. But having a plan is the most important thing, because if you don't have a plan, you're going to get hungry, and you know what's open 24 hours, 7 days. And then that's where the vacation 1520 can come from. I know Mocha Lee is going to speak about staying healthy, but for us, it's all about planning. And then listen, splurge. I mean, we've driven from Virginia to Florida for many years. And I'm the fried chicken guy, right? So when I'm driving through 6 states or 7 states all through the South, I'm looking on my phone as we're going down of some nice, some soul food spots that are off of the exit that we can, or just restaurants that we can discover in general. I just love new restaurants. So that's my splurge. And go hard. It is vacation, and Mocha Lee's gonna tell us how to work off that 15 or not get maybe keep it to 14. I don't know.
Oh, no, that makes so much sense. I love what you said about driving versus, getting on an airplane or taking a train, or you could take a bus, because it does give you that ability to have flexibility when you want to stop and start and eat and kind of just enjoy the road trip, if you will. And I think people are getting back to doing some things on the road. So Mocha Lee.
Yes.
Let's talk all things fitness on vacation. You have, and I'm going to tell y'all, Mocha has one pet peeve. If you stay in a hotel, make sure it has a what? A gym. Exactly, a fitness center.
Have a fitness center. I mean, and that's real. Most of the places you stay are definitely going to have fitness centers. And I just ask my clients, just use it. You don't necessarily have to go every day, but a little workout here and there on vacation is not absurd. My clients really think I'm just plumb crazy when I even bring it up. But I'm like, no, the fitness centers at the hotels are nice. You could just do a little 15 or 20 minutes of cardio. The kids love the pool. So get in the water. The water is such a good way to get movement with no pressure on your joints. So I always encourage the pool. We like to go to the beach. So it could be Ocean City, it could be Virginia Beach. And I love what Chef Rock said about fruits and juice, because if you have a backpack or a cooler, just load up all the summer fruits, like melons and cantaloupe and watermelon and berries, and just know that you have those to snack on. But definitely, I agree you should treat yourself, but you can't just totally not be active. Even if you're hiking or biking, on the boardwalk, just do something to continue to move, because then you just feel like you don't have to come back home and feel like, oh man, now I'm suffering. Just stay active through the whole vacation. It can be done, trust me. It really
I believe that. I agree with you that it can be done, in the sense of, especially people who watch our show who are around the coastline. You have the opportunity to run up and down the beach, and a lot of hotels, where you stay, they have those opportunities to say, oh, $5, you can do yoga for the week on the beach, or, you can have those opportunities to, a $25 fitness trainer. And so all of those things, get us in the mindset of saying, plan time to have fitness when you're on vacation. When we come back after the break, we're going to talk a little bit about those of us who, like me on occasion, are procrastinators. I don't know where I want to go, but I know I want to go somewhere. Should I click yes or no to go to this class reunion, corporate party, whatever the event is? Should I go to that corporate or company retreat? And so there's some things that relate to us getting out and about that we procrastinate about when we come back after the break.
Pull up a chair, take your seat. The Black Tape with me, Dr. Greg Carr, here on the Black Star Network. Every week, we'll take a deeper dive into the world we're living in. Join the conversation only on the Black Star Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to A Balanced Life here on Black Star Network. And we are talking all things summertime. Getting into a summer mindset can be daunting. We've talked about what it means to be able to plan, whether you're color coding, spending your money wisely, looking for places to have fitness, doing activities with your kids. This gives us a way to say, how do we plan the most excellent vacation that you can have on the budget that is right for you? But in this segment, we want to talk a little bit about procrastinating. I know you're already out there saying, I don't want to go to the class reunion. I don't want to go to the family reunion. I don't want to go to the corporate retreat. So you have to be able to get into that mindset because there's some rules of engagement when it comes to doing things around other people. Your attitude, conversation, things that you do and don't do at corporate events that you normally would do around your family and friends. So I want to have this conversation for just a moment first with Dr. Tierney, because there are a lot of ways in which we can trip ourselves up in life. And she's our resident coach for this particular segment. Dr. Tierney, let's talk for just a moment. And I know in your work and leveling up and talking with your clients, people have a tendency to overdo it in a certain area when it comes to corporate engagement. They kind of procrastinate on whether or not they should or shouldn't go because they may not know how to act or how to be social outside of what they do in the workplace day to day. How can you help people say, yes, I'm going to click the box to go out to this corporate retreat or event?
Yeah. So the first thing is to get under what's happening under that procrastination. So procrastination in and of itself is never the reason. There's always a root to procrastination. Either there's a fear, that's there. Either there's something that has you feeling uncomfortable or uncertain. Maybe there's an insecurity, under that as to why you're procrastination. So if you find that you're procrastinating or you got the invitation a long time ago, then take a beat to say, okay, wait, why am I procrastinating? In responding yes. What is it that I'm actually feeling? What is it that I'm actually afraid of? And dealing with that root feeling, that root issue, that root cause. And then once you get to the root of that, then you'll better know exactly what to do. So if it is that you've been procrastinating on sending your money, your part of the money for the family reunion, it might be that you need to say, no, I'm not going to the family reunion. And newsflash, it's okay to say no to the family reunion, to the class reunion, to the reunion. It's totally okay to decline participating, in those activities if you are in a space where going may trigger, some trauma for you, or it may rob you of your peace, and if you find yourself in that situation where, okay, I absolutely have to go because if I don't, then my job is on the line. If it's that corporate situation, then I would suggest that you maybe talk to your therapist, call your coach, to have a conversation around what that feeling is that's connected to that event, so that you can get those specific tools that you need so that the event and you will feel good at the event and everything will be a success.
So I have a follow-up question for you because you have the ability to compartmentalize when you're at the job. I go to my office, I sit at my desk, I may be in my cubby, I can choose when I go to lunch. But when you have these social events, like we're having breakfast together, we're having lunch together, we're having dinner together, some people just don't do well in crowds. How do you help a person identify, or what tips would you give them to make emotional adjustments to be in spaces that may not feel like they can do it, but your job actually may be on the line if you don't show up at the corporate retreat? How do you help them get past that barrier?
Well, the first thing, definitely don't say or do anything that you wouldn't say or do in the office. Just think about it from the standpoint of, no, I'm not in the office building, but now the office is here on the beach. or it's here at this, breakfast table, or if it's here at this, hotel. Don't say or do anything that you wouldn't typically normally do, in the office setting. It doesn't matter that you have on flip-flops and a sundress, and not your normal business suit. That's really the first thing. And then the second thing, it's one of those things where, and I say this to all of my clients, if you didn't want it to be plastered all over the news, then don't do it or don't say it. That's one of those things that kind of keeps a watch on the things that we say and the things that we do. If I say this, even if I'm saying it one-on-one, to my colleague, if it were to be read in the middle of a court of law, would I want to shrink and just have the floor just swallow me up? If yes, then don't say it, don't do it, don't engage in that way, because that's where okay, this might be crossing the line of that personal or professional, interaction that might not go well, once I get back to the office. Because remember, what happens on vacation in a corporate setting, it doesn't stay on vacation. It comes back to the office, You have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, real talk in that area. And I'm going to say this to the African American people, the people of color who are watching this show. There are certain things I'm going to say that you should not do, or at least you should do it in moderation, and that is consuming libations when at a corporate event. I'm going to tell you that this is just business, personal and professional 101. Limit that to 2 beverages of a lighter version, and not the things that you will do hanging out in the basement or at the family reunion or at the picnic with the fellas or hanging out on a girls trip. You have to know the audience that you're in and allow yourself to pace yourself through the evening. Now, now this is not against drinking, because I know everybody loves a good libation. I'm saying that, as Dr. Tierney just said, everything that happens on vacation or that happens at a corporate event does not stay there. It will be in the office newsletter. It will be on social media. It'll be places where you won't be able to hide from it. So exercise some caution. I want to ask Chef Rock about that, because you cater a lot of parties for these varieties of events. As a chef, do you cut people off at a certain time or in a certain capacity, chef, when you see them at these corporate events, once they've decided to go and they want to kind of let their hair down and they don't want to be that boss anymore, they want to be the good time Charlie, with the employees. Where's the line in the sand with that?
It's a great question. And I think as a caterer, there's a fine line, right, of balance. You don't want to upset the client, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want to embarrass someone who essentially could be, to be honest, many times people that drink out and show out, not all the time, but many times in my experience, they're the higher ups, right? So many times it's the officers or the directors or somebody that might be writing the check. So if they get a little drunk, you don't want to, you have to artfully and skillfully sort of figure out how to cut them off. Now, legally speaking, we have the right and probably the obligation as a caterer to not serve someone who is way too drunk. But however, we understand, whether it be a wedding or a corporate outing, that there's just, a great operation knows how to do it. So maybe that's, speaking to whoever's organizing the event and saying something to them and figuring out how we can undo it. Because I got to tell you, there have been many parties where the CEOs, the vice presidents, and the VPs have had a little too much to drink, and they need somebody to walk them back down. So I've seen it happen, but in all of it, we have to figure out a way to get them cut off to save ourselves, but most importantly, we're trying to help you out. So it's stop on the bourbon, bro. That's the goal.
You said stop on the bourbon. Stop somewhere soon enough before, it's one of the phrases that we hear all the time: check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah. And oftentimes that phraseology is not to harm you, but it is to give you some good advice or an indication that you're headed across a line that you may not be able to recover from. When we talk about things that we procrastinate from, I do want to have a conversation with Charlotte and Mocha and Aisha. Because when you think about getting ready to go to a class reunion, how many of you accept right away? Charlotte, Aisha, and Mocha, who accepts the invitation to the class reunion right away?
Me.
So Mocha says yes.
I do.
Charlotte's face, she's like, you're over it before the invitation is coming. Aisha.
No, not right away.
No, not right away.
Not right away.
So,
but may I just say, I think sometimes if you're an entrepreneur, you look at every opportunity as networking. So a lot of times I think about like, wow, I'll be around people who are familiar with me, who might support some of my fitness, projects or come train with me. So I think I always enter these invitations thinking, okay, maybe I could network, maybe I could, but I think also too, you have to be sort of an extrovert. Like if you're not an extrovert and you're not cool with just rolling up on people and starting off a conversation, then I think some of the gatherings are kind of tough. And usually if you genuinely like the people that you went to school with, or you just have fond memories, then it's not that hard, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why I'm cool with just jumping in and saying, yes, click, accept. But then I have to remember to put it in the calendar. That's the thing, and color code that thing. Or I'll be like, oh, I accepted it and I forgot that it was this weekend, So yeah, that's just
very
how
interesting. Okay, Charlotte Avery, your face was priceless.
So I have to tell you, since I've graduated from high school, I've only been to one of my high school reunions. And even when I went to that one, I decided to go at the last minute because honestly, I really had no love lost in high school. And I'm very much an extrovert, I'm that person, but my high school years were kind of tumultuous. So when I decided actually to go to the first high school reunion I went to, I was in a different season of my life. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go, I'm going to show up, I'm going to see these people who some of them I liked, some of them I didn't like or whatever. And it was a really good experience. And by the time I, started, chatting with people and people were like, oh my gosh, you look so great. You know how they do at high school reunions and stuff. I was just like, okay, great. But I was happy to see people and then I was happy to go. I was like, okay, I just marked it off. It was great. And, so yeah, I don't know.
So it's go at least once. At least once.
I haven't been to a college reunion yet because I just haven't had the time to go. But I think I will go to my next college reunion whenever they have it. But I haven't been to one yet. So
okay, I think I went to a college reunion. I can't say I've been to a high school reunion yet. Yeah. All right, Aisha.
Well, I think I like to have a good time. Don't get me wrong. I am the fun friend. I love those type of things. But I am also the person who will be like, where is it going to be? Who's going to be there? And because I like to see who I'm going to be, how long I may be spending my time. And while I love, being around people, I just like to know first those things. I have to know those things. I have to know who's going to be there. I have to know how long I have to be around them so that I can mentally adjust to, how I need to act. Yes, I know how to carry myself, but I need to know, am I going to be around the fun time people as well? And how long I'm going to be there. So that's where I am. That's with anything. That's where I am with it.
It makes perfectly sense. I think the things that I like are the Evite. When they see them, you send the Evite, it lets you know who's going to be there, who's coming. And then you say, oh, so-and-so's going to be there. Let me click yes. Oh, so-and-so's going to be there. Because, they know how to kick off a good time. And you guys may agree, there are 3 times when it comes to an event. If you decide to go, you want to go at the beginning if you don't plan on staying long because you want to say that you went. Oh, yeah, they were here, but they left already. You may want to come in the middle because that's about the time that the people who didn't really want to come show up in the middle. So you get to see who was there at the beginning and then who's there in the middle. And you can just come at the end and say, oh, I can't believe I missed you. Oh, my goodness. Or you do like most people, you follow along on social media and like, oh, yeah, so-and-so left already. Okay, let me put my clothes on. I think I'll go now. And so we have all of these head spaces, ladies, that we are in when it comes to why we procrastinate with reunions. And I hope that our audience is, able to see that it's okay wherever you fit in to decide how you want to do that. When we come back, After the break, let me just say, we're going to talk about the really good time people. I don't know how you guys do it. All of you viewers, I don't know, but many of you are the let's just get up and go, because I follow y'all on social media and I see you saying, oh, I just popped in here. Oh, I decided to get up and go there. Oh, this looked like a great event. So I decided to toot on down the road. When we come back after the break, we're going to talk about those people who are just get up and go do it people when we're back after the break.
Into the bins over the window seats. These are the only bins that will accommodate larger rollerboards.
They put 10 in here?
10, and you don't come out till you die. And you eat him, you poop 10.
Oh my God.
So what?
Welcome back, everybody. Let me just tell you, I am so enjoying this conversation. So we're planners, we're procrastinators, and then those are you who are out there who are just get up and go doers. You're just like, wherever the wind blows, this is where I'm going to go on vacation. Oh, this looked like a wonderful event, so let me just pack a sundress and some flip-flops and be out there. Oh, let's just go camping. So we love a variety of things. I'm going to bring everybody in for this one because I think we may all be able to say, or at least pick one time when we said, you know what, we're just going to wing it. We're just going to get up and go and throw all caution to the wind. Mocha Lee, when was the last time you just threw caution to the wind and just went for it?
Man, I think it was last summer. It was a quick trip to Ocean City. I live in Maryland, so Ocean City isn't that far. But I was just feeling like, are we doing this? Are we just going to get on the road? And then I realized, well, whatever we forget, I'm sure we can pick up at the store and it's going to be fine. But the point was, we were just excited because it was sort of like that in between pandemic time. Like, is it okay to go out? Is it not? But if you're outside and you're at the beach, hey, and it was worth it. We had a good time.
Awesome. So just get up and roll with it. And if you forgot something, get it on the road. Charlotte Avery.
So I'm a planner and I'm a spontaneous person. So I have my times when I like to plan my days with the kids during the summer. And then I'm always ready to just throw everybody and just say, okay, stop everything that you're doing. We're not following the summer schedule today. We're just going to get out here and go. And so for me, I actually try to be more spontaneous in the summer than I am a planner because I just think it's more fun. And then my kids, they don't ever know what to expect. Like usually one of my children will be like, well, what are we going to do today? And then I'll have a schedule, but then I'm like, oh, we're not doing that. And then he's like, well, I thought we were doing this. And I'm like, no, we're not. We're going to do something else. And then they like the splurge. They like the spontaneity too. So, it could just be throwing the kids in the van and going to, go to the movies or go up the street to the park up the street from our house. But I just love it. Like, I love those times when I can just throw caution to the wind and say, okay, we're leaving and going.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And Charlotte Avery, Party of Nine, being able to just get out and go really does sound like an adventure within itself. Dr. Tierney.
Yeah, I'm actually planning a pop-up right now as we speak.
I'm planning a pop-up.
See, what had happened was, so I'm a planner just kind of by nature, right? But when you're traveling as a party of one or party of two, you can pop up, and just pop up and do something. Well, like I said, my husband and I are kind of planning to travel internationally. But last month we were going to Dubai in May, and now we're looking at London in June. And so we're just as things are flexing and moving and, looking at what the COVID protocols are. Okay, we can take our mask off. Do we have to put them back on? Or, so we're just kind of going with the flow, and who knows, I may see a great flight, and just say, hey, this is it. We're going to go do it, so it's like planning, but not really. We just gonna pop up, and it's even more so talking about going internationally and just popping up and doing that. Yeah, So that's what that looks like.
All right, for the pop-up vacation, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent. I said, hey, let's do a whole family thing out of the country. And then when I start to plan it, I'm like, okay, this is about the moment I think I want to abandon that plan because it starts to get a little complicated. And so I appreciate the plan pop-up if you can do it. Aisha Pugh, I know you the spontaneous girl. Literally, y'all follow Aisha Pugh on social media and you'll see what we're talking about.
Well, so Dr. Jacquie, listen, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of with Charlotte a little bit because I have kids and we have to work around those school schedules. But the way I grew up, honestly and truthfully, my mom, she really didn't play about us having our spontaneous times to just get up and get out and get away. And so I too have followed that same thing with my family. Sometimes we just need to get away and we just need to get out. So it's nothing for us to get in the car and just be like, we're going to just go here today. We might just take a drive anywhere in the area, the county. We might be like, hey, let's go down to Virginia Beach. My son, he goes to Christopher Newport University. So we might just, hop in the car and go down there. I think it is so important to sometimes just stop and just be able to just have that spontaneity to just get out. And yes, I am a little bit, just spontaneous, just slightly a little bit. But sometimes I think it is necessary just for you to be able to recharge and just get out. I do have my planned trips because listen, we have a budget now. Don't get me wrong. Now we can't just we got kids, we got bills, we got things we got to do. But I do like being able to just stop and say, you know what, guys, we just need to get out. We just need to go. So that's what we do.
I like that. We do all have budgets, and it's important to just have a little disposable income in reserve for the moment that you really do want to, as you said, have a little time to get back and rest and relax and, kind of step away from everything. Chef Rock.
Yes, I am. I'm somewhere between, I call on my Dr. Tierney side of being the party of one, and then Miss Aisha I wish I could plan or live in her world. Ain't nothing color coded except for my plate when I go on vacation. But I love two things. Sometimes there was a couple years ago, I would just say you got an hour to drive, and wherever you can get within an hour, that's where you're going to stay for the weekend. And it worked. I went to some really, I'm in Virginia, so that could work. It's a very different ways, and it sure enough did. Many times on vacation, I know that my family needs a break from me, and I probably need a break from them. But sometimes I just get up really early, 4 or 5 o'clock, and I like to do things that my family doesn't like to do, and I respect that. But I'll just go. One time I was by myself in Jamaica, and I was in Kingston. And I just walked. I didn't know where I was going. I just walked like for hours and hours, and I found out some really cool things. Got back to the hotel, and the concierge was like, listen, bro, you might not want to do that. This is not Mo Bay. Like, I'm glad you made it back. But so I don't suggest going down random streets internationally without knowledge. But that's the kind of person I am. I love the structure, but also love the color outside the lines as well.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Everybody, everything that you have said so far, I know that our audience is going to be Googling and tweeting and watching and texting you or, sending some things on the thread when they watch the show, because it's important that we do find ways in order to engage ourselves as we come through this pandemic. When we come back after the break, I'm going to do my reflection, offer some final words, and thank you all for being here.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches! Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice
to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?
Welcome back, everybody. As you can tell, there is no shortage of opportunities for you to figure out how to get out and about, whether you're a planner, a procrastinator, or just throw caution to the wind and just go at your own pace. There's something out there for you. I can honestly say there are 3 things that I believe are so important when it comes to whichever way you find yourself getting out into this summer. 1, have a budget. Leave yourself some space for the unexpected and make certain that your money is right so that when you're out there, you're able to deal with any contingencies that arise. Have a good attitude. Bring a positive attitude with you, whether you're going to the family reunion, seeing family members that you don't speak to anymore, or people that you cut off or unfollowed on social media. It'll be a little uncomfortable, but you still need to get out and see people. And we're in that space where we need to put eyes on each other so that way we know that everybody is okay. And then also bring with you people that you really want to have a good time with, people that you want to make memories with, people that you just truly enjoy being around in their company. And if you happen to be like Dr. Tierney or I or any of us at any time, being a party of one, use that time wisely to explore, to wander, and allow yourself to just be at peace with yourself. I want to thank our guests for being with us today and having this time to talk about getting into a summertime mindset. So go out, have a good time, and make many memories. Thank you, everybody, for being with us, and I hope you enjoyed our show today. Bye now.